Hey folks, it's Pastor Michael, just hanging out here in my baby's nursery. Just wanted to give you an update with regards to the Bible reading revolution. Every now and then I'm going to give you a video update just to encourage you along this journey lasting several months as we read the entire New Testament using this little green sheet as our guide, the Bible reading revolution challenge sheet. So I thought I'd give you an update right now, because we just finished reading the Gospel of Mark, which was our first book that we've read. Why read the Gospel of Mark first, some of you may have been wondering. Well, the reason was the Gospel of Mark was not only the first of the four Gospels to be written, in terms of historically, it was the first one written, but also the Gospel of Mark is one of the shorter ones, and it's more concise. It's kind of like a complete summary of the life of Jesus. In a quick kind of way. And some of the other Gospels, like Matthew and Luke, for example, give a lot more detail of the life of Jesus Christ. So Mark's a good place to start, because then when we come to Matthew and we come to Luke, and then John is quite different, but when we come to Matthew and Luke especially, they're building on a lot of what Mark wrote. So it's kind of like Mark has given us the beginnings of it, and then Matthew and Luke give us more details. So that's why we started with Mark, and I hope you enjoyed reading the Gospel of Mark. And now we're moving into reading some of Paul's letters, starting with 1 Timothy, then 2 Timothy, then Titus, and then Philemon. And what about these letters? Well, Paul wrote all four of them. Well, who's that? Okay, what's up?
Just one.
That's nice. All right, see you later. Just a little visit from Ruthie there. Anyway, Paul wrote all four of these letters, and he wrote them. Timothy was written to a young pastor named Timothy, Titus to a young pastor named Titus, and Philemon was written to, is just one chapter, so it'll only take you one day to read the entire book of Philemon. And Philemon was written to a wealthy Christian named Philemon, who had a slave named Onesimus, and Paul knew Onesimus, so he's writing to Philemon about Onesimus. And in fact, I preached on Philemon a few years ago. You can go back and listen to my three sermons on the book of Philemon. But 1 and 2 Timothy are really great short letters that Paul wrote to Timothy on two different occasions, but he wrote them both when he's later in his life, probably on his fourth missionary journey, and giving wisdom to this young pastor named Timothy. And likewise, the book of Titus is also Paul imparting wisdom to a pastor as Paul gets to the end of his ministry. So really rich books, a lot to do with what it means to apply the teachings of Jesus to our lives, what it looks like, a lot to do with the church, and so really good things there. And then once we go into November, we will be reading one of my favorite books of the New Testament, the book of Hebrews, which has so much in there. Maybe I'll give you an update, give you a little introduction to Hebrews before we get there. But if you haven't started reading the Bible, reading the New Testament yet with the Bible Reading Revolution, this is a good time to start, because you can pick right up with 1 Timothy. Anyway, I've heard lots of great reports about people who are doing the Bible Reading Challenge and loving it, and that gets me excited. Remember, if you're on Facebook, to share a verse or so each day, and use the hashtag Bible Reading. And I look forward to hearing more good reports about people who are falling in love with the Bible all over again. Have a good day.